Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, and the Kern High School District. With additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
I'm April.
I'm Joseph. For math homework, help, call in Bakersfield 636-4357. Everywhere else, 1-866-636-6284. Email dothemath@kern.org. We're online at dothemathonline.net. And on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right, nicely done, Joseph. So where do you go to school and what grade are you in?
I go to school in Buena Vista, and I'm in 6th grade.
So you are a Bulldog.
Yes.
Have you been a Bulldog for a long time, or is this a new
Yes.
school? So you've been
Ever
there
since I was in kindergarten.
So since kindergarten. So you've been there for a long time. 7 years. This is your 7th year. So you're pretty used to the place.
Yeah.
What will you miss most? Because you're going to go to junior high school next year. What will you miss the most about Buena Vista since you've been there for so long?
I would miss our principal, Mr. Hensford, and our teacher, Miss Morrison, because Miss Morrison was always very nice and like helpful with them whenever we were doing tests and stuff, and always like making sure that we were like okay. And Mr. Hansford always checked up on us and made sure that we were okay too.
Good. Well, that's nice to remember your instructor, your teacher, and your principal, right? I remember my principal, but it wasn't for the same fondness I think you have as your principal. And I'm sure that principal will remember me too. But anyway, so how is 6th grade going?
6th grade is going good. I have A's and B's right now.
Good. That's what you want, right? Have you gone to Camp Keep, or do you know if your school is going to Camp Keep?
Currently, I don't know because some of we need like chaperones, like men chaperones,
Okay.
and we don't have enough so far, so we might not go.
So you're waiting on that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys can get that all figured out, because Camp Keep will be something that you remember for the rest of your life. You ready to do a little math problem?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at today's math problem of the day, our social media math problem of the day. And here it is. What is 89 ounces in pounds and ounces? So, Joseph, when you see this, what do you think we need to know first of all?
I think we need to know, first of all, how to convert ounces to pounds.
Good. Do you know how many ounces are in a pound?
16 ounces.
16 ounces, very good. All right. So how did you know that so fast? Was it just something that you memorized, you knew? Yeah. So you just know 16 ounces in a pound. Well, that's good, because you know how many inches are in a foot, right?
Yeah.
How many?
12.
There you go. See, there's just simple things like that that you just kind of know, right?
Yeah.
So if there are 16 ounces in a pound, and we need to take 89 ounces and turn them into pounds and ounces, which one of these do you think we're going to, can we do that kind of in our head? What's 16 and 16?
16 and 16, 1.
So 16 and 16 is 32, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so there we have 2 pounds, and we're at 32.
Yeah.
How do you think we can get up to 89 fast?
By 32 times 2, which is 4 times 16.
Right, would be 64.
Yeah.
And we're pretty close, right? So there's 4 pounds. So we know we need over that, because there's nothing even 4. Most of them are 5. Does the B answer, 16 pounds, even make sense?
No.
No. So we can eliminate that probably,
Yes.
right? So we're down to A, C, and D. We're at 64. If we add another 16 to 64, what will we have?
80.
So we're at 5 pounds and we have 80 ounces. So which of those answers do you think would be the best one?
5 pounds and 8 ounces.
So that would give us
5 pounds and 9 ounces.
Now, are you sure? Because you said both, and they're both pretty close to each other.
Yes, I'm sure.
Sure, which one?
D.
Positive.
Positive.
No doubt.
No doubt.
None whatsoever.
No.
All right, you're confident. Let's check it out. See if D is correct. There you go. D is correct. First one done. Nicely done. I'm glad that you were confident in that, right? Because you know your multiplication. We were just adding to get up to that, and you knew it was 9 ounces, so nicely done. Feel good about that first one? That was the hardest problem you're going to do all day. Do you believe me?
Yeah.
For now, you have to, right? Hey, we do have phone tutors available on Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout most of the school year. Phone numbers are at the bottom of your screen periodically throughout the program. Time now for today's Math in the News. Oh, first we're going to go down to Science4Kern. That's right. I forgot all about that.
Hey, here we are today, back with a Science Day for Do the Math, and we have Justin here with Science4Kern. And what are we doing today?
What are we doing? We are in the season. If you've been around, all you're hearing about is pumpkin spice. So we're going to take the spice out of it, and we are going to do 3 experiments, all with pumpkins today. So our first one is we're going to see all of those pumpkins are living things. We know they have electricity and energy, just like our kids back here, tons of energy. We're going to see, will those pumpkins light up this LED light bulb? That's our first challenge. I couldn't get it earlier, so I don't know what'll happen. Our second one is, this isn't for the weak of stomach. We're going to cut open some pumpkins, and we are going to see what makes them tick, what's going on the inside, their structure and function. And then, as our grand finale, it's time to do a little bit of make a mess, a little bit of an explosion, a chemical reaction. Okay, something that is at least legal for our inside room, but we are going to make elephant toothpaste and have it come out of our carved pumpkins. So, a lot of pumpkin stuff today.
Wow, that's so exciting. All right, well, we're excited to see all these experiments happen, and back to you in the studio.
So Justin, it sounds like a lot of fun. I think when you're through with me, you're going to go down there and see if you can do all that stuff?
Absolutely, yes,
All right.
I am.
Well, we're excited to have Ash-Lee in studio with us today for our Math in the News. And Ash-Lee, you are with an architectural firm now.
Correct.
And which one is that?
It is PDA Inc. It's here in downtown Bakersfield as well. So yeah, right down the street from you.
All right. Now, what wanted you or drove you to go into architecture?
Well, funny story. Model homes, which is funny to me because that's not even really what I do now. I do a lot of commercial buildings, medical buildings, not homes at all really, but from now on, ever since I've started, I loved it. And would I love to do homes? Yes. And you know, I get to do some every once in a while, but it's a lot of commercial, medical, retail. Yeah, I do a lot.
Okay, so kids might go, all right, well, you work for an architectural firm. Are you an architect?
I am not.
Right, so
not
that's
yet.
what we want to make sure. So what is your role or title now?
I am a drafter, whichever you want to go by, but I'm not an architect yet. I'm planning to get licensed.
Okay.
Yes.
And how long will that take?
About 8 years.
Okay, so
5 years of school.
So about 8 years.
Yes.
All right, so you've got 5 years of schooling.
Yes, optional in California.
But recommended, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So you've got all of that schooling, and then you need a bit of experience also.
Correct.
And
So-
that is what you're gaining now?
Yes.
Or it's that after schooling?
Simultaneously at the moment, since I'm working and going to school, I'm doing the architecture program at BC. So I'm doing both at the same time, which are counted towards those 8 years.
Okay. And what kind of math do you see yourself using all the time? Like things that you used in elementary, junior high, and high school.
Yes.
What are some of those math concepts that you remember maybe struggling with that you find useful and employ you now?
Fractions.
There you go. So that's
Always
basically it,
fractions.
right? Fractions?
Yes, we do a lot of fractions, lots of measurements, dimensions, and fractions are just, they were something you hoped you might get rid of, you know, when you're older, but yeah, they're still there.
Yeah, they never
They're
go
still
away.
there. They never do.
Now, you
So-
brought some tools with you.
Yes, I did. So I have our measuring tool. This is, we use this all the time, This is, you know, we'll do counters. You know, we have 2 feet counters, very typical, but I'll go into a space, we'll measure the space, and these are the 2 tools that will be with me all the time. I'll use these to measure everything. We do as-built of buildings, which means we need every measurement of the whole entire building. So that's what these are for. This laser, it'll point from one wall to the other, and it'll give me the dimensions, and most of the time there's fractions on here, so.
Okay, so let's just hold it up right here a little bit so the camera can possibly get that one. And so there it is. And let's say you want to measure can you measure from the counter to the wall, or does it
Yep.
have to be wall to wall?
You can do any point. Wherever you put this, it's gonna measure from the back of the tool to whatever you're pointing at.
Right, so we can see it over there. You saw where it was. And what was that measurement?
It's 15 feet, 6 inches, and 3/16 inches.
So there's where your fractions come
Yeah,
in, right? So
yeah.
it's 15 feet, 6 3/16 inches.
Yes.
So does it get more precise or accurate than that, than 16ths, or is that the standard that you usually use?
It'll go more accurate. It'll do 30 seconds or 64ths, but typically we try to keep it down just because contractors like the easier numbers, like I'm sure everyone does. Everyone likes the half an inch.
If it was a whole number or a half, it'd be
exactly.
nice and easy.
Yes.
So do you remember the first time you did fractions in elementary school? Because I know it was elementary school when you first did this.
Yeah, I don't remember the first time, but I do remember the first few weeks where it was challenging. It was.
Right, and it was probably, the first time you probably did a lot was probably 5th grade. And then you're going to use them forever and ever and ever, right?
Yes.
Now, you've got your camera here, and you
Yes.
might have to come over and get this going real quick. And the reason we want to bring this up is because I think this is pretty cool. You might have to, there we go. So let's do that. And that is Ashley as a guest, right? And I mean, you look the same. You're a little taller maybe right now.
Just a little bit.
But let everybody know when that was.
So that was January 10th, 2016.
There you go. So January of 2016,
Yes.
you were a guest on Do the Math. Yeah, and what do you think? Is that a good photo?
It's a pretty good photo. Hopefully we get a better one this time.
Well, of course it's going to be better this time, right? Anyway, you're going to be all over social media now and things like that. So from that day forward, you were, well, who knew you were going to be working at an architectural firm 7 years later on and doing well. Yeah. So congratulations on where you're at now. All of the best with your schooling going forward.
Thank you.
And do us a favor. You were here in 2016. It's 2023. When you become an architect, you're licensed.
Right.
I want you to come back again.
I'll be back.
You can do that?
Yes, I can.
And what we'll do is maybe we'll grab another photo and put all 3 of them together and stuff like that.
Sounds good.
All right, that is today's Math in the News. 636-4357 is that phone number. And you know what? Science4Kern, we just heard about what they were doing downstairs with the pumpkins. Let's go back to Sam and Justin and see what's going on.
All right, here we're back, and we're here to start our first project. What do we got going?
So our first one, we know that we can light up this bulb with a battery pack, okay? Just like that. Now, here's our question, here's our wonder. Can we use these pumpkins to do that same thing? So I need your help to power up our LED bulb. So if everyone could please grab an alligator clip, a wire and an alligator clip, and let's hook it up to the copper wire of one of the pumpkins. So go ahead and hook it. There's 3 pumpkins there. Go ahead and hook it up to the...
There you go.
Okay, now what we're going to do, you have that one. That copper wire one you hooked it up to, I need you to link it to another pumpkin and hook it to the galvanized bolt. It needs to be opposite. So if you have the power, good, and it's going to go to the bolt,
Come over here, so that one can go there.
just like that, and you may have to squeeze real hard. And this is going to kind of combine the power outage, the power wattage, I should say, for each pumpkin. So now we have how many pumpkins linked together? 3. Okay, so let's see if we have any power from our pumpkins. So this is my power meter, voltometer, Voltron is its name. And we're going to see if we're getting any output from our pumpkins. So let's hook it up and see. Are we getting a little bit? Getting a little bit, huh? So let me hook it up here. It could be crossed and none there. Could be, this is polarity. So we are getting a little bit, okay? Now, let's see if that's enough power to light our LED light bulb. Okay, everyone ready? Let's get the drum roll, please. Oh man, this is exciting. And I'm hearing something good. There is polarity in the LED bulb, meaning electricity only travels one way through it. So let's see. Again, I need my Drum roll. Let's switch it around and in the words of Einstein, that didn't work. So why do we think that didn't work? We don't have enough what? So in the immortal words of Tim the Toolman Taylor, we need more power. So here's what we're going to do. Grab your pumpkins. Let's put them all together. Bring your pumpkins here. Let's bring them all together. And let's link up 9 pumpkins and see if we can. We are creating mega pumpkin from all of them. Perfect. So now this group, we are going to link here to here. And if you could link yours. All these wires, the black, good thing we're not disarming a bomb because there's a lot here. Okay. What do we think? Do we think we got it?
Sure. The light bulb's over here.
You got 5
Okay, light bulbs over there. Let's see if we're getting juice from our pumpkins. Now again, pumpkins are living things, right?
Yes.
Yeah, aren't plants? Plants and animals are living things. So meaning it's going to have energy. It has energy just like we do. So, getting some juice, but not enough. Let's experiment. What if we try just one pumpkin? Let's see if we get more juice. It's like that game with the Coke name, trying to figure out where the wires are at, huh? Okay, let's see here. Whoa!
Oh, dang.
So what do we think's happening with the electricity as we're doing this? What's happening as we're... It's spreading out, so we're not getting a concentrated amount of electricity. So now that we have more, let's try it one more time. What do we think?
Hopefully it works.
Hopefully it works.
That looks like it works. I don't see enough energy.
Let's try the polarity. Remember, electricity only travels one way through LEDs. And it's a success because we call that back to the drawing board. All right? So we are going to work during the thing and we are going to try to get this lit up. But as for now,
We
can
have
you
some
hold
work
this?
to do.
And you hold this.
Oh.
There you go. Show it off. There's our lit up light bulb. Everyone give a hand. When in doubt, go to Duracell.
All right, so we're gonna keep working on this one for a little bit and try and see if we can get a successful light lit up. All right, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks for that, Sam. Nice to see that the bulb actually did work because we were going, oh yeah, check the bulb and see if the bulb is even good. But like they said, not a failure, simply another step towards success. So we'll check in with those guys in a little bit. We've got Joseph, a 6th grade student from Buena Vista Elementary, loves Buena Vista, especially his instructor and principal, which is always good. And we're going to have Joseph work on his first problem of the day. Well, actually, second one, because we did the social media problem of the day together. So Joseph, here we go. You and April have an expression up on the board that you need to evaluate. All right, go to it.
Alrighty, Joseph, we have 9 times the quantity of negative 3w plus 1 minus 6 times the quantity of negative 3w plus 4. So have you seen a problem like this before?
No.
You haven't seen a problem like this before. So what do you know about this type of problem? What, if you were to look at it, what do you already know or what do you remember from something you've done in the past?
I remember that you're supposed to do everything in the parentheses first, and then that's everything that's not outside of the parentheses after.
Okay, so if I look inside of the parentheses, I've got negative 3w plus 1. Can you combine those terms together? Can you put negative 3w with a 1? Or does something special need to happen?
Something special needs to happen.
What needs to happen?
You have to add them together.
Okay, so can you add these two together?
Yes.
So if you added them, what would you get?
Negative 2w.
Okay, so if this doesn't have a w, can you add it to, can you add it, if this one doesn't have a w, can you add that to a negative 3w or do you have to keep them separate? Or
You can add
actually,
that.
you have to keep them separate because in order to add, things have to be exactly alike. And since this has a W and this does not, I can't add them together. So when I add like terms, they have to have the same variable. And since this does not have a variable, I can't add them together. So instead, I have to do something with this 9. Do you remember what we could possibly do with the 9?
No.
Okay, so we're going to multiply. So I'm going to distribute 9, and I'm going to multiply this 9 by everything inside the parentheses. So I've got 9 times negative 3w. So what is 9 times negative 3w?
Negative 27w.
Go ahead and write that. So when you write, you can't put your palm on. Yes. Okay, so then I'm going to multiply that 9 times 1. So I'm going to put the addition sign plus 9. So now I have minus 6, and this is the same as multiplying by a negative 6. So I have negative 6 times negative 3w. What does that give me? What's a negative 6 times a negative 3w?
Negative 18w.
So if you multiply a negative times a negative,
Oh yeah, positive.
so I'm going to say plus 18w. Alrighty. Lastly, I'm going to multiply negative 6 times positive 4. What do I get?
Negative 24.
Negative. Okay, go ahead and write that. So now I've distributed, and now I'm going to combine like terms. So remember we talked a little bit earlier about like terms, and like terms, you can only add terms that have the same variable. So if it's a number without a variable, a constant, you can add the constants together or subtract, and then the same thing with the numbers with the variable. So 18w and negative 27w are like terms because they both have the variable w. And so if you were to simplify those, put those together, what is negative 27w plus 18w? So talk to me about what you're doing right now.
I'm adding. Wait, no, I'm multiplying.
So you're adding because this says plus, right?
Yes.
But let's think of this as debt. So if you owed me $27 and then you paid me $18, how much will you owe me now?
$9.
Oh, okay. So if you're going to owe me $9, how should you write that? And then we'll keep the variable. So now I have 9, my constant 9, and I'm going to combine that with, collect these like terms, so 9 minus 24. So think of it the same way.
15.
Okay. So will you owe me 15 or will you be 15
I have
in the
15
green?
in the green.
Okay, so 15. So you owe me 24 and you paid me 9.
Yeah. I owe you 15.
You owe me 15. So when we simplify, we've got negative 9w minus 15. Great job.
Can you put those together?
No, you can't.
Why not?
Because it has a variable.
Right,
What
one
has a
has a variable. Good. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that you saw that. One has a variable, the other one doesn't, even though they are both
You can turn around.
negatives, and we don't have to worry about combining those things right there. So nicely done. For your great work today, you've got yourself a pass to go see a game at the Bakersfield Condor. So congratulations on that. I think the season, if it hasn't started, is very close to starting. So congratulations on that. And we are going to check out some manipulatives right now and base 10 blocks with Mickey.
Hi, I'm Mickey. Today we're going to explore base 10 blocks and how they can help us add, subtract, and even do some higher math with decimals. So we have a problem on the board, 56 plus 14. And just like with subtraction, we start with our smallest place value, in this case, our ones place. Again, 56 represented by 5 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 6 1s for 56. And I'm going to combine that with 14, 1 10 and 4 1s. Again, representing each place value, 1 in the tens place, 4 in the ones place. Now again, when we are adding, we always start in our smallest place value. So 6 plus 4, if we do that in our head, we're left with 10. That seems like a problem though, because in math, I'm not allowed to have 2 digits in a place value. So if I come over here to the board, I look and I notice 6 plus 4 gives me 10. I am not allowed though to write 10 there. I'm not allowed to have 2 digits in the same place value. Well, a lot of students will recognize, oh, carry the 1. In math, carry doesn't really mean a lot. This isn't PE. I can't carry numbers around and hold them up and put them down. So really what we're doing again is regrouping. Regrouping works like the following. If I have 10 of these 1s, we notice it is the same height as a 10 rod. Well, that's pretty coincidental. Why would it be the exact same height? Because when I regroup, I can take these 10 1s and I get a new 10 rod. So now I've combined everything together and I get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, or 7 in the tens place. If we come back over here to our problem where a student might be working it out on paper, 6 plus 4 gives us 10, and they say carry the 1. You're really not carrying though, you regrouped, and that's why we put the little 1 on top, not because my teacher told me so or because I carry forever. Physically, we can take the 10 1s. I no longer have any 1s value left. I regrouped them into a 10 rod or a 10 stick, and now I can add them together. 1 and 5 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Again, so base 10 blocks allow me to visualize subtraction and addition, improve why I borrow or carry when we're really regrouping.
All right, another segment of Base 10 Blocks with Mickey right there and Manipulatives in the classroom. We do have phone tutors available on Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout most of the school year. Joseph, a 6th grader from Buena Vista Elementary, is with us this afternoon with April inside the studio. But right now, we're going to go back downstairs, see how they're doing with those pumpkins in Science4Kern and Sam.
All right, we're back here, and we've decided to move on from that project, and we've got another project planned. What do we got going on?
Yeah, the greatest thing about science and engineering is, a failure just leads to another success, and that's what we learned here. And while you were back at the studio up there, the kids, they got a little angry, and they didn't like that the pumpkins didn't work, so they took it out on the pumpkins. I'm kidding. I did that through my tears. I cried, but we're going to move on to this next one, okay? Well, we talked last time about pumpkins and the electricity and energy they have because they're living things. So we want to see what's going on inside that pumpkin, what makes it do what it does. So each living thing has a structure and a function. So you can see here on each of the table, we've cut a pumpkin in half so they can kind of see what the insides of it and what's happening with all of its different parts. So what I'm going to have you do, students, is you have little toothpicks with some words on it. You should see one group of words that says seed, stem, pulp, fibrous strands, and skin. I want you to work together as a group, and I want you to put those where you think they belong. Where are those structures? So go ahead and put your flags on the pumpkins.
Are they putting on one pumpkin or?
They can put it on both pumpkins if they want. So if they want to split them up, they can put them there. They're just going to identify where they think those would go.
Wait, do we also use these?
Not those ones just yet. So these specifically are the structures of the pumpkin. What are the different parts?
These are the fiber strands. This is the pulp. This is what they make the pumpkin pie out of. This is the skin. Stem. You can see the stem. Small stem. And this is a pumpkin.
Very nice.
You are right. Yeah. Pretty good.
And are you confident with what you have here?
Very.
You're confident. You're ready to lock in your answers.
Yes. It even has the leaf in it. Yeah.
Okay.
We got the good luck charm. Yeah. We're set.
So what I want you to do now, I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong, but you have a paper there. You see what the writing is? I want you to check and see if you're right. I'm going to go check on the other table. So you double check your work and let's see if you're right. Okay, this table, how are we doing?
I think we're right.
You think you're right? You got them all? What did you put here? What is that?
Pulp.
Okay. And then you have
The seeds.
seeds right there. Okay. And then what you can do is check, see if you got it right. And finally, this table, and they're moving on, and this is great. So now we're going to move on. Students, we're going to move on to what are the functions of the pumpkin. So it has a structure. You add your pulp, you add your skin, the seeds, the stem. Now I want you to put what do each of those do? What's their job on there? And you can see we already have one here. So explain to me, what did you put?
So like the skin would be the protective layer of the pumpkin. It protects it from the elements. And the stem is where like nutrients from the soil will travel through to let it grow.
Okay.
The seeds you can use to plant brand new pumpkins. You can use the pulp for the pumpkin pies, of course. And yeah, that's it. Oh, and then yeah, right here on the leaf is where the photosynthesis happens. It's where the leaf will intake energy from the sun and create it into food.
Very nice. So we see here that one unique thing of plants is, does it need to go out and eat something? It's able to do what?
Make it itself.
Yeah. Did you know all of this awesomeness was happening within this pumpkin here? So even though it can't light up an LED bulb, it has a lot of cool things it can do, correct? All right, so we have a group here. Who else has their functions ready to go? Raise your hand.
This guy's over here.
Okay, we have them over here ready to go. So it looks like you're waiting on one. Transport nutrients to pumpkins. What do we think? You think the stem, okay.
No. I think the
Is it able to transport the nutrients as of right now?
not really.
Not right now.
Yeah.
It's not stick it in.
Growing.
Very good. Now, you have the seeds. What do the seeds do?
The seeds are able to grow again and become new pumpkins.
To new pumpkins.
Okay.
Used to grow new pumpkins.
And to eat, yes. Do you like pumpkin seeds?
No, I only like sunflower.
Only so. Does anyone like pumpkin seeds? Okay, so no one wants to try a pumpkin seed here right now?
I did. I tried one.
Too late.
I tried
Volunteer. You already tried one. Was it good?
Do it on camera.
All right, I got the ranch pumpkin seeds for this one. Did it taste like it? No? Okay, they're doing well. And finally on our middle table here. Middle table, did we have everything put where we need? You're still planting your flags where you need them. Okay, so where are we having
Where does
questions?
photosynthesis happen?
All right, photosynthesis. Where do we think that would happen? Thinks in the leaves. Okay. Does anyone know what photosynthesis is? What does it do?
No idea.
So when you're hungry, what do?
Eat.
You go and eat, right? Now, can you just go out in the sun and all of that food just happens to go in your body just naturally? No, you have to go eat, right? Does a plant go to Taco Bell and eat?
No.
What does it do? It goes to the sun. It's able to make its own food, so that's the photosynthesis. So, everyone, raise your hand. Do we know what our pumpkins do? Okay, which part of that is the pumpkin spice?
The inside.
No one knows. It's like the chicken nugget. No one has any clue where the pumpkin spice comes from. But now we exactly know what our pumpkin is, the structure and function. So next time, now that we know that, it's time to make our pumpkins do a little dance with a chemical reaction. Are we ready for that? Yeah. All right. Well, we've got a lot of preparation here until the next time.
All right, well, now that they've dissected all these pumpkins, we're ready to watch them foam at the mouth. All right, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks for that, Sam. And I guess we'll wait and see the pumpkins dance with that chemical reaction and find out maybe if they know where the pumpkin spice comes from. Would you like to see that?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to find that out too myself. Hey, you know what? We do have phone tutors, and actually right now we've got somebody on the phone. Mariah, how are you this afternoon?
Good, and you?
I'm wonderful myself, thank you. You are a 7th grader at Warren Junior High, so go ahead and let's hear the problem that you're working on.
Okay. Would you like me to read it?
Please, I just want to make sure it's the same one that we have on the board.
Okay, so it says 9 plus 6 whole 2 over 3 minus 8 minus parentheses negative 8, then 3 over 4.
All right, well, April is all ready to help you out, so you help April out.
So Mariah, what do you already know about this problem? Are there any numbers that you can put together?
Yeah, so what I know is that I can subtract 9 and 8
Because
together, which will subtract it and it will become 1.
okay, so because they are like terms, 9 minus 8 is 1.
Mhm.
So then we'll have 1 plus 6 and 2/3 minus, open parenthesis, negative 8 and 3/4. Right? Is that what you have?
Yes.
Okay. And then, what do you think that we can put together?
What we can put together is 6 and 2/3 and negative 8 and 3/4.
And why would we put those together?
Because we can, because they're like kind of like similar together, like they're similar.
Because they both have some type of fraction?
Yeah.
So there's a minus sign after the 2/3, there's a minus, and then there's a negative sign in front of the 8. So what that really says is the opposite of negative 8 and 3/4. Do you know what the opposite of negative 8 and 3/4 is?
Positive.
Yeah, so that's going to become a positive 8 and 3/4. And then we're going to add 6 and 2/3 and 1. So how, because this says, are you watching it on TV or are you just listening?
I'm watching it on TV as well.
So this says the opposite of this, and since this is negative, it's going to become a positive, okay? Okay, so these fractions, how do we deal with them?
So how we deal with them is that we are going to multiply 6 times 3 for the first equation, and then that which will be 18, and then you'll get 20 over 3 because you're first multiplying multiplying, and then you'll get 18, adding 2, which will be 20.
So you're going to change your improper or your mixed number into an improper fraction?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be 20/3. And what are we going to do with 8 and 3/4?
So 8 and 3/4, we're going to do the same thing, which would be, it would be 35 over 4.
35 over 4? Because you multiplied 4 times 8 for 32, and then you added 3? Okay. So can we add fractions now, or is there more we need to do?
There's more that we need to do.
What else do we need to do?
So first we have to find the common denominator. So we would.
So I have a denominator of 3 and a denominator of 4.
What they have in common.
Okay, so what do 3 and 4 have in common?
They have 12 in common.
So I am going to find a common denominator and use, and can I do that here with this 1? Can I use that? Can I have a common, can I turn this 1 into a fraction and have a common denominator there as well?
No.
No? Okay, go.
And so, oh my gosh,
So I had 3, I now have 12. What do I multiply 3 by to get 12?
You have to do 3 times 4 to get 12.
And if I multiply that in the denominator, I have to multiply that in the numerator as well, right?
Yeah.
What's my new numerator?
Your numerator would be
4 times 20.
80.
Okay. And I was at 4, I'm now at 12. What do I need to multiply 4 by to get to 12?
3.
And then I do that in my numerator as well.
Yeah.
So what are 3 35s? 3 times 35.
It would be 105.
Okay. So Mariah, when when we add these together, we're gonna have a fraction. And if we don't change this into a fraction, then we'll have some more to deal with. We can change this into a fraction. So if I have a whole number 1, how do I change a whole number to a fraction? I put a denominator of 1. So if I'm gonna keep the same denominator that I had with my other 2 fractions, and I started with 1, what do I need to multiply 1 by to get to 12?
1.
Wait, 1 times 1 is?
Oh, then you would do 1 times 12,
Yes.
which would be 1 times 12, which would be 12.
And then up here, 1 times 12 again is?
Is 12.
So 12 twelfths is the same as 1, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so now I have common denominator. And what can I do now?
You can make it into a, or you can add it.
Add it. What is it?
Yeah.
What am I adding? I'm adding my, what are these called?
You're adding your
2 parts of a fraction. Numerator or denominator?
Your numerator.
Yeah, because you told me we had to find a common denominator, so these are all called numerators. So we're going to add all of our numerators? 105 plus 80 plus 12?
Yeah.
So what's the sum? What's the total there?
It would be 197.
And then I'd have 197 twelfths, right? Do you have to change that back into a mixed number?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Do you know how to, if you needed to?
You would divide it.
Okay, yeah. How many groups of 12 are there in 197? Very good.
Ooh.
So we're going to let you finish that up, Mariah. So right now, 197 over 12 is an acceptable answer. But if your teacher wants you to simplify it into a mixed number, all you have to do is go 197 divided by 12, and it'll be around 16 and 5/12. But anyway, you can go ahead and work on that. For your great work today, you've got yourself a meal courtesy of our friends at the Broken Yellow Cafe, so congratulations on that. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. We'll be back with more right after this.
No barriers has long been our clarion call here at the beach. It's our charge, the marching orders we've embraced to clear hurdles for all students. We take our role seriously because we know there are no barriers to the heights they can reach. Cal State Long Beach is a force for good, providing pathways of opportunity to all who come here. It's why we're third in the nation for advancing social mobility. It's why, through the Long Beach College Promise, we help Long Beach Unified School District students find their way to higher education so as to become contributors to the economic, cultural, civic, and artistic development of our region.
My name is Jocelyn Soto Rivera, and I'm a first-gen college student. I'm looking to get into law, so maybe go to law school after this and become a lawyer. The university helps first-gen college students because they offer a lot of support through the resources, and every single teacher I've had has paved a way for me to taught me how to navigate those waters. This is going to help my family because I have 2 younger siblings, so they're going to be able to see that if I was able to do it, they're also able to do it. So I'm great to be part of that big sister that's able to show them the way, that it's not that hard and it's not that scary.
The beach is authentic in its equity and inclusion. As we mirror and welcome the world around us, it's why we're pioneers in the CSU for accessibility and number 8 in the nation for campus diversity.
That's specifically what attracted me to Cal State Long Beach, because I didn't feel like I was going to fall through the cracks or be left behind. Being an autoimmune where every single day is different and it's not always super visible to someone else, I don't think I would be able to go through college without BMAC. BMAC reached out to my teachers for me. They really do help and take over when you're not able to.
We are partners, creators, and motivators in our region. We open our campus through artistic offerings, cutting-edge museums, championship games, and on-campus clinics that combine education with practice.
Speech and language therapy can be quite expensive. This is a really good opportunity for people who need help obtaining those services, but they can't afford to financially.
We have a client for the entire semester. That's really helped me develop my clinical skills.
When you are in classes, you learn frameworks and theories of how to do something, but when you're in front of a person, it's completely different. So when we are able to meet a client and get their background information and actually practice all of these things, it sets us up for a more successful career.
The beach is a catalyst for our state and our communities. We're reshaping the workforce as our graduates make an indelible economic impact on California and the nation.
Every billionaire in the world wants to figure out how to do space travel. There are all the traditional companies. There's a lot of disruption going on in our industry. The good news is that you go to Cal State Long Beach and you don't even have to go far, right? You've got Space Coast, you've got all of these great opportunities right here in Southern California. We're trying to figure out how to do things that haven't been done before. You need people from all walks of life and different backgrounds to contribute. And so where better to start than a school like Cal State Long Beach when we need to do recruiting. The one thing that I really enjoy about students from Cal State Long Beach is that they come out a little better equipped because so many of them are working, or they're the first students in their family to actually go to college. And so they have a little more grit, right? A little more perseverance. They understand a little bit more about the world, and I think that they adjust into our industry. And I feel like the students that come out of Long Beach are ready to hit the ground running.
There are no barriers to the power of a beach education. It's why we're first in the nation in student outcomes. No Barriers is also a door to something bigger, a comprehensive effort to engage fearlessly in the next era. And as we move forward, we redouble our efforts here at the beach to hold our charge close and be innovative as we prepare and embolden our students to thrive in rapidly changing and challenging environments. Go Beach!
All right, well, we've got Joseph working on another problem, 6th grade student from Buena Vista working on some more expressions. Maybe we'll check out what you're doing in a little bit. But right now, we're going to go back downstairs with Science4Kern and see if they're going to make these pumpkins dance.
All right, Justin, we're back, and we're so excited to see this experiment. Tell us what's going on.
Yes, so this is our grand finale. We've done about everything you can do to a pumpkin. And for those pumpkin lovers at home, I'm sorry for all the trauma that you've seen them witness, but it's all for the big payoff. Here we're going to have a chemical reaction. Now, the difference between a chemical reaction and a physical change, a chemical change and physical change. When we cut this pumpkin, we carved it out. You see the top of this pumpkin?
Yes.
Would we say it's still a pumpkin?
Not really.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Is it still, did it change to a banana?
No.
No, it's a pumpkin, right?
Yeah.
So what we call that, that's a physical change. So we can cut something, we can kind of make it look different, but it is still the same thing. We want to do something called a chemical change. We want to change what the original products were to another product. And what we're going to do is a classic experiment called elephant toothpaste, okay? So in each of your pumpkins, there is a glass in there, and there's hydrogen peroxide, okay? In that hydrogen peroxide, we put some liquid dish soap and a little bit of food coloring just to make it fun, because it is, do the math, we gotta add some color to this, correct? Yeah. All right, now, what we're going to do is add a reactant to that hydrogen peroxide, something to make it chemically change. And what we have is we have just basic everyday water, in this one, warm water, and then active yeast, okay? Now, anyone know what yeast is used for normally?
Me. Bread.
Bread, exactly right. So what it does is yeast is actually a living thing. And what yeast does, it needs to be awakened, and when it awakes, it goes around and it eats, normally, something like flour, and it burps out some air, and that's what makes your dough rise, okay? This yeast is going to react with that hydrogen peroxide to give us a nice reaction. But right now, do you see the way it is? See how it's all dry?
Yeah.
It's sleeping, it's dormant. We need to wake it up. The way we wake it up is we're going to put it in the warm water. So your first step, go ahead and pour all of that yeast into the warm water and stir it around. Stir it around. Perfect. We've got some future. We got some Martha Stewart's here. Very nice. Stirring it around, waking it up.
It's getting thick.
And you're going to stir it. It should become
Yeah, you
thick.
smell it. It smells like liquid.
Have you smelled that? It smells kind of like bread, right?
it
Yeah, that's
does.
pretty good.
Oh, it smells like milk. It looks like oatmeal. Wet granola.
Now, if we actually let that set, you would start seeing bubbles happening, especially if there was sugar in there. Some would start eating that, burping out the bubbles. But we don't want to use it for that. We want to make our pumpkins do what? We want to make them, yeah, we want to make them, they don't like the yeast. They're going to have a reaction. So now we are ready to have our chemical reaction, our chemical change. So I need the person that was going to pour it, that brave soul.
Me.
And if you have it, go ahead and pick that up. Not yet, not yet. We just want to make sure you that are pouring it, you sign the waivers, correct?
Yes.
And everyone has insurance, right?
Yes.
Perfect. That was a yes to me. We're
I'm
safe
only-
here. That's
I'm
all
only
I need.
11.
So everyone else take a little step back.
Guys.
When I say 3, what you're going to do is you are going to pour that into the hydrogen peroxide and you're going to back away. Are we ready?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
Any second thoughts?
I'm scared. Maybe.
Okay.
Can you eat the elemental base?
I'm making sure I didn't forget something before I make you pour that there, but I didn't. We're all safe.
Okay.
All right. Do you want me to count from 3 to 1 or 1, 2, 3?
3 to 1.
Do you like the suspense? This is called building the suspense. So are we ready? Just say we're ready to do this.
All right, we're ready.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Pour them.
I don't see anything. It's rising. Slowly. Slowly, guys. It's slowly. Yeah, it's not barfing.
It's building. It's building.
3.
Oh, it's oozing out of the face.
It's coming out. What? I told you that mouth was. Can we touch it? I don't think we can touch it. It's rising, guys. Is that? Oh, it's going faster. Yeah, it's going faster. It's going some hair. Oh my gosh, it's going up.
Oh, this is our chemical change. So we've actually changed our hydrogen peroxide into a different item. This is also a great reminder that as you go trick-or-treating this year, don't eat too much candy because you don't want to be the pumpkin at the end of the night. So once again, do we have a brand new chemical here?
Yes.
Yes. Did it change what it originally was?
Yes.
So what would we call that? We would call what type of change? Chemical change. Our pumpkin itself carved. Is our pumpkin still our pumpkin?
Yep.
So what type of change is that?
She has an afro.
Physical change. Very nice. All right. Well, we are down here. Is everyone okay? Everyone feel good? No one is feeling dizzy or have a headache?
It's about to go over the
Perfect. We're doing well down here, and we're having fun with our pumpkins, and
He's
actually
having
kept
an
it pretty
afro.
clean.
This is a great one.
Can I touch it?
All right, well, this one was a success, and thank you, Justin, and back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks for that, guys. That was rather interesting, and seeing all of that pumpkin toothpaste right there, and the chemical reaction and the physical change in the pumpkins and stuff like that. Joseph, our guest today from Buena Vista Elementary, a 6th grade student, was working on another expression, solved it while they were doing that. So Joseph, explain what you did on the board.
So the problem is -6, open parentheses, x, minus 6, close parentheses, -4, x, -3. And what I saw first was that because 6 doesn't have an x, which means that they're not alike, you can't multiply it. So I did -7 times -6, which is positive 42.
But before that, did you multiply -7 times x, and what'd you get?
-7 times x is -7x.
Okay.
And then bring this stuff down.
Okay.
And because these two are alike, you have -7x and -4x. You're able to add them, which is -11x, and then plus 39, which is plus 42, minus 3, because 42 is bigger than the negative, so you're going to have a positive left.
Yeah, so you subtracted these because they're like opposite signs, but you added these because they have the same sign. And so like if you have a debt and you keep borrowing money, it's going to get bigger, right? Yeah. All right. Thank you. Well said.
And one last thing, Joseph. Can you put the -11x and 39 together?
No,
And why not?
because they're not alike.
Why aren't they alike?
Because it doesn't have an X, 39 doesn't have an X in front of it.
That's the reason right there, right? Because one does not have a variable. Because you're going to get into problems where you'll have a couple of different variables where you'll have X's and Y's and just constants. So you just want to make sure because it doesn't have the same variable, which is why they cannot be put together again. All right, we do have one more opportunity to head downstairs and check in with the kids and all of the other folks with Science4Kern.
All right, here we are back. We have all of our experiments finished. And Justin, you have some questions for these kids?
Yeah, we've done a lot with pumpkins today. So what I would like to know from each group, just kind of the highlights, what did you like best about the pumpkin experiment, which one, and what did you learn from it? So if we can start with this group, what was your favorite experiment?
Elephant toothpaste. The last one.
Okay, what did you learn from the elephant toothpaste?
That it's foamy.
Foamy, that's a good adjective. Yes, foamy.
What reaction? Oh, it's a chemical reaction instead
Chemical.
of physical.
Okay, perfect. So have you seen any other chemical reactions lately in your life? Any other thing that looks like this?
Coke and Mentos.
Coke and Mentos, that is a chemical reaction. Very nice. Okay, thank you, group one. Group two, what was your favorite experiment?
This one.
This one, we have another one. Everyone likes the elephant toothpaste. What takeaways did you have from the elephant toothpaste?
I learned that yeast is alive.
Yeast is alive. It is. It is alive, and it comes back to life, and you'll have it in your bread. But don't worry, once you eat it, it's not alive after that. Okay, so don't be fearing bread or any yeast-based products. Okay, and then finally over here, what was our favorite part of the day?
I think we had this experiment.
We have a winner here. So elephant toothpaste, we know that's what everyone liked. And again, why was this one your favorite one?
We got to handle chemicals and a lot of cool stuff.
Very nice. Yes, we have some future chemists all around here liking the chemicals, and they're playing with the chemicals afterwards. I wouldn't advise that with other chemistry items, but this one should be fine. So we also learned, does every science experiment always work out the way that we plan?
Nope.
No. So when we do science and when we're doing the engineering design process or any scientific process, guess what? It's not a straight line. It's a circle, because we may have to go back and try to figure out what we did. So it's great. It looks like the elephant toothpaste was our winner. We have yet to find a way to light up a light bulb with pumpkins. Still working on that. And other than that, these kids are doing great, ready for Halloween.
All right. Yep, that was a fun day in science with Science4Kern. And Justin, thank you so much for having us or being here with us. And make sure you check out the Do the Math website and YouTube. All right, back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that, Sam. It looks like the kids had a lot of fun, so thanks to all of the students that were able to come down and participate in that Science4Kern activity. Thank you to Joseph for coming in this afternoon from Buena Vista Elementary. And did you learn a little something today?
Yes.
That's good, because that's why you came, right? You get a little knowledge on some things maybe that you weren't aware of, or maybe just a little brush up on things that you did. Did you have fun today?
Yeah.
That's the main thing right there, because we want to make sure you have some fun while you're doing math at the same time. Remember, phone tutors are available most Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, and the Kern High School District. With additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.